Hi viewers, welcome to the episode of the Erudition Show. I, Shokani Agreement, aka Mujalefa, with my co-host here, Justice Sambo. Uh, Today we have a very massive, strong, and a beautiful lady by the name of Lebo.
Thank you, Agreement. Thank you so much for the introduction. My name is Justice Sambo, as he has said. Today we have a very interesting episode, which is not just interesting, but it means a lot to us as the Erudition Show. We have a guest who happens to be part of us, who is part of the community, who is part of the team of the Erudition Show. Week in, week out, she prepares us for the camera. She makes sure that we're camera ready. And today, this means a lot for us to get to listen to her story. This just shows to us that we also have our own stories to tell as the Erudition Show, and I just want to commend her bravery for that, for her to want to come and join us and tell us her story. Her name goes by Lebo Tlhabanyane, who happens to be our makeup artist week in, week out. Lebo, would you like to just give us a brief about who you are and what you do besides being part of the Erudition Show?
Thank you, Justice. Hello, guys. My name is Lebo Tlhabanyane, as Justice and Agreement have said. Thank you very much for having me on the show. I have to say that I'm quite nervous. I was telling them that I'm actually quite a shy person. I speak a lot, yes. I'm an extrovert, apparently, but yeah, I'm actually quite shy. Yeah, to get to it, so basically I'm an engineering student. I'm studying electrical engineering at the University of the Witwatersrand, known as Wits University. Currently doing my third year, and basically today I'm going to speak about my very interesting journey in trying to attain this very beautiful degree of mine. Yes.
Beautiful, beautiful. It's beautiful. So she's a student at the University of the Witwatersrand, Johannesburg. So just a little bit about your journey of attaining this degree. When did this journey start? What has happened in you trying to get this degree? Do you want to just share maybe just a timeline of events that have happened through you throughout as you are trying to attain this degree?
Okay. Yeah. Okay, this is actually quite very sensitive, but it's fine. So I came to Wits in the year 2013. I started my degree then. I did my first year. It was a very difficult year. I remember the first semester, which is the first 6 months of the year, I was actually not convinced that I'm adequate. I'm able to get the degree, go through in the degree, proceed rather. So yeah, it was a very hard first semester, but then something happened, when I came back in the second semester. Funny enough, I passed all my courses. I came back for the second semester and I just fell in love, I fell in love with everything that we're doing. I couldn't stop talking about how amazing my degree is and how relevant it is in literally everything, that every sector, every company, you can take out the work that we do, right? So yes, that happened. I passed my first year. I came back to do second year. Yeah, it was that was quite a very interesting year because I went through a whole lot. So I went through depression that year. Yeah, I had episodes. I lost myself. I didn't really understand what was happening. I was in a mist, I was in a cloud. I was confused, and yeah, at the end of the year, I failed very badly, to a point where I was supposed to be excluded, but some magic happened. I wasn't excluded. Yeah, and I came back the following year. I studied. I passed at the end of the year and failed one course still again. meaning that I had to come back again. Where am I now? This is, I said 2013, 2014. I'm now at 2015, right? When I had to repeat. And then I failed that course, and because I had been using a bursary recently, that wasn't paying for me when I was repeating. I had all these fees that were lagging, right? So I couldn't come back the year when I failed that one course. So I stayed at home, and it was very hard. It was extremely very hard because I had expectations. I was disappointed in myself. I'm very hard on myself. I'm my worst critic, you know. I had to go back home. I had to swallow my pride and go back home and live with my parents and my little sisters, you know, and have to answer questions of why are you here? Are you done with your degree? Are you working? What? Yeah. So that was quite a very difficult year. I went through that year. Funny enough, I always have this 6 months thing, 6 months negative, 6 months positive. So the first 6 months was hard. It was extremely hard. I cried most of the time. I hid myself. It was easier to leave the house. I'd literally watch TV the whole day. You know, it was just easy. You know, I still don't know what happened, but I think I had reflections and all that, and I had inspirations, and I went into business, even though it was small time then. I explored other interests, and one of them happened to be business rather, and I actually discovered that wow, I'm actually a business person. You know, I'm someone who can do well in business because I can engage with people, I can sell things, you know. As long as I'm convinced I can sell anything.
And you're a business.
Definitely. So yeah, that happened, and I remember still in this year I literally didn't have my fees were still not paid. I was owing more than 50 grand, you know, and I remember I was telling my friend that, you know, I owe these fees and I need to come back to school, and if they're not paid, I won't be allowed to register, you know. During that time, it was during the fees must fall strikes. So, hey, things happened, you know. And I remember, I think I applied for financial aid that year, but I did something. So, yeah, I finished that year, high spirits, more positive, and more looking forward to the following year, hoping that I'm going to be coming back to Wits, you know. So I remember the following year, okay, I wanted to come back to Wits, but I didn't have a plan of how I'm going to do that, right? So breakthrough happened. I remember I got, excuse me, I got an email, or was it an SMS, saying that I must come and register. I was like, oh, this is like in Feb. People had already started attending classes. Must go register. Okay, well, I want to come back to school, so I came running, and what happened. It was so fast. People were helping me left, right, and center, and I registered, still with the 50,000 rand lagging, and yeah. So I went through that year. I still had that money lagging, and I managed to pass all my courses. And I got funding. And in my head, when I came back, I had this new motivation, this new fire in me, you know, this new strength, this new energy that I'm not gonna fail a year. I'm finishing, you know. And okay, sharp, that year happened, and then this was in 2017, right? And then 2018 came, and now I'm doing my full third year in electrical engineering. It's quite a challenging year, but I had all the faith that I'm going to do it. I'm not going to be part of the statistic. I'm not going to fail this year. I need to do my final year next year. I went through the year. First semester was okay. Second semester, it was very hard. And I failed the course, right? literally a course that is not supposed to be failed. It's relatively easy, you know. I failed that course, I wrote the sub for that course, and I still failed the sub, meaning that I couldn't do my final year this year. And I had to come back again this year and continue, because my degree is very important to me. And regardless of the hardships, I have to attain it. You know, yeah, I think that's the main thing behind what I'm trying to talk about today, or what I'm talking about today, with which is delays. You know, a delay in achievement, delayed success, or delayed dreams. You know, because as much as I'm just only covering the academic aspect of it, or the struggle here at Wits, there's so many things that we go through in life, you know, that affect us and in a way have an impact to end up delaying us, you know. I think I was speaking to Justice, and some of the things that I mentioned are the constant questions, like, when are you finishing? When are you graduating? Is this your final year? You know, and those things, you know, people might be asking them from a point of interest, you know. They just want to know because they are not trying to harm you or anything, but they're just interested. They just want to know, you know. But when we receive them, because already you're like, I'm so delayed. Every single day you are delayed. I feel I'm delayed. But when someone asks you these things, it feels like an attack, if I may call it that. It feels like you're being very insensitive because I'm going through all these things, and you don't even understand half of the things that I go through, you know. You never even ask me how I am, but the only thing that you're interested in is how far am I? Yeah. Am I speaking a lot, guys? Yeah, and I mean, it always feels like it's a disappointment, especially for us black people. I'm sorry to make this sound like a race thing, but I feel that for every black child, when you leave home and you go to varsity, all your family's hope literally lies on your shoulders. And when now your parents are expecting, my child is going to varsity now, in 4 years they'll be done. And now how it's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, hey, yes, my child's not done. It's quite disappointing for them. Some parents speak out, some don't. You know, I had a time when my dad once said, you know, you are failing because of this, that. That was quite hard for me because I cried. I literally cried the whole day. And I was like, you don't even understand half of the things that I go through on campus. You know, sometimes I don't have money for food. And I won't even call you asking you for food because I understand that you don't have money. Why do you not care the same way I care? You know, things like that. And generally you think of things like you compare yourself, because you find that as much as I said that I started my degree in 2013, I was supposed to graduate in 2016, right? People from my year, some of them have graduated in 2016, some 2017, some graduated in 2018, but I'm still here. That's quite painful. And you also go back to things like high school, you compare yourself to people who were very much not academically inclined as you were, you know? And you see them advancing, you see them having homes, you see them having cars, you see them starting their own families, and you feel that, I feel that I'm stagnant, you know. It's like there's no progress, you know. It's like, what am I doing wrong? Why am I not progressing as these people are progressing? As much as I understand and acknowledge that, yes, we are walking on different paths, on different journeys, we are going to different places, and we're not meant to go through the same experiences, but still, it does affect us. It still hits home.
Okay, wow, what a quite interesting, very, very interesting. And I feel like you're not the only one who goes through such questions. When are you finishing? When are you graduating? Like, you are right to say that when you leave high school to tertiary, people raise expectations, mostly family. They raise expectations every time you go home, even during holidays. They ask, when are you gonna finish? When are you gonna finish? But I really understand where you're going. It's a very, very, and it's hard to answer because you really want to finish, but there are some things which are above you. Like there's nothing that you can do about that. So that's very, very, very sad for us. So yeah, thank you for sharing that. I mean about to me, knowing that I'm not the only one who goes to research. Hopefully, I think some of our viewers, they also go through such experiences. Thank you for sharing.
Can I just add? do you know what I say to people rather? It's actually hard for me to respond like that, but it's actually better for me. I just, when someone asks me when am I graduating, when am I finishing, the answer is always when I graduate or when I finish, regardless of who's asking. It just helps me. Yeah, so the answer is always true. When I finish, when I graduate.
Well, my response to such question is, courses shall we?
It is right.
That's my response to such questions. I tell them the courses shall we. So I don't know. When I graduate, you will see, and I'll tell you. Yeah. I'm sure that I and everyone are not the only ones who go through such. So to our viewers out there, if you're going through such, know that you're not the only one who's going through. We are all on the same path. As a black person, as a young black person, we go through such. When you move from high school to tertiary, family, there is expectations. I'm sure Justice, my co-host, would like to add on to that.
I think beyond adding on to that, I actually do have a question for you. But yeah, I can say deeply that as a student who's been at the institution, which is Wits University, I've went through the same things. I mean, I've had my toughest moments in life. I've had one of those moments where I had to sit down and be like, is this really what I want for my life? I've had those conversations within myself, but I feel like the question that I actually want to ask you right now is, you mentioned something about having went through depression, having went through breakdowns in second year, right? I just want to know, what would you say was the cause of those things? What was the cause of that depression, rather? What was weighing you down? What contributed to the whole failing? If you know.
I know. The funny thing is that I actually didn't only go through those breakdowns and depression only that. I mean, even to this day, it still happens. It's just that now you're more aware and you find ways to deal with it, if you may call it dealing with it, or to overwhelm it, because depression overwhelms you. Yeah. So basically, in 2006, which is how many years ago?
13 years.
Yeah, okay. 13 years ago, I lost my mom, right? I was still young, very young. So I wasn't really fully aware of what was happening. So in 2014, that was the year where I actually felt it emotionally, that I felt the void, because academically, everything was very hard. Everything was hard, and I felt that I can't do it. I'm not. This degree is not for me. And I honestly didn't have anyone to confide to or to talk to about this. So so that missing of my mom and the degree being hard and all that became a ball, and that was so hard. I mean, I remember there were times where I would literally wake up in the morning, I'd shower. I'm a morning person, so I'd wake up around 5 and get ready, and then I'd just sit on my bed and be like, I'm not going to these classes. And I'd just change and go back to bed and sleep the whole day. And it was normal. This was not something that happened once. I'd do it every day. I mean, I think there was a time where I wasn't going to class for more than a month. I'd just go to labs, because we have labs in the afternoon. I'd just go to labs and sign my name there if I didn't have to do the lab for, like, I didn't have to be present there to do the lab, like something for like software, sorry. I can do software at home. So I'd just go to sign that I was there in the lab and not being there, you know. I'd literally do that and not do anything, and it was okay at that point, not doing anything, you know. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm really interested. So, would you say you are depressed now? And then, if you're not, and then how did you deal with that?
As I said, depression is interesting, guys. Depression, according to me, and I've had a conversation with a psychologist about this, it's not like I'm depressed. You know, it comes in seasons and goes. It has triggers. So there's times when I'm depressed, depending on what's happening. But usually it's pressure when I feel very overwhelmed and I feel that I can't do anything. It's like I'm arrested, you know, to a point where I'm literally lying down on the floor. I can't get myself out. And I feel like I literally can't do anything. I can't do anything. I'm powerless. So usually I write a whole lot. I'm not really much of a speaking person. I write and I eat a lot. Yeah, but mostly I write. When I write, I sort of like acknowledge what is happening, and it doesn't really overpower me that much because I'm aware, you know. But if it happens and I'm not aware that this is actually happening, like at the beginning of the year, yeah, it's a problem. But once I'm aware that this is what's happening and I acknowledge that this is what's happening, bit by bit, gradually I gain power over it and I overcome it. But I can't say now I'm depressed. No, it's a seasonal thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting. To our viewers out there, there's one way. She mentioned what 2 ways. You must write and you must be aware. You must, because you can't solve something that you know is not there. So you must be aware. Okay, this is a problem. So this is how I fix it, and this is how I'm gonna look for solution. And talking to someone, it helps with regards to that. Yeah.
I think I can add to that to say that I once said that you cannot fight the devil that you do not know of. You know, it means that you need to be aware that there is a devil that's there for you to be able to fight that devil, right? So, but anyway, moving on from all of that, I just felt like our viewers will need to know, as like maybe the last question, just to say that there's probably a lot of students watching this video right now, right? And they would want to know, as a student yourself, what can you say to them? What can you say throughout? I mean, there's probably someone who has went through the same journey as you right now, who can perfectly relate, right? I mean, what can you say to them to say that, like to hold on to that degree, you know, if that's really what they want to get, you know, as part of their achievements.
Yeah. What can I say? What can I say is that it may look like you are being punished every single day, but one thing that I've realized about going through delays or hardships is that it's building character, and if you don't allow yourself to go through that grinding process, you are never really made, you know. It's preparing you for your life, right? And if you're not prepared for your life, how can you fully live it the way you're supposed to live it, right? Yeah, I think there's something that I've written that I'd like to share. Yeah, let me just find it quickly. So it's very short, and I said that one thing that a degree is about one's intelligence, But it turns out that it's about internal strength, endurance, tenacity, courage, faith, confidence, resilience, patience. Yeah. And once this person comes out, I don't think there's anything that will stop you from attaining the degree or whatever you're trying to attain in your life. That's it from me.
Okay. One question from me. What would you say to people who raise expectations, people who ask such questions when are you graduating? I'm sure even our viewers would like to know. What would you say to such people, like quickly, because time is not on our side?
Okay, I know that it comes from a caring point. You know, I don't know, maybe find another way to phrase that question. Actually, don't just get to that question. Be interested in the person more than being interested in what the person is doing. You know, you have to be interested in my life. You can't be asking me about my degree if you don't even know how I'm faring. What if I'm about to die there? Dying psychologically or dying emotionally, and you're only interested in my degree. And I'd rather have a how are you from you. You know?
Yeah.
Be interested beyond being interested in what I'm doing.
Be interested.
Wow, beautiful conversations we're having at the Erudition Show. It's been interesting to have you with us today, joining us not from background but like as part of the show today. I am super honored to have sat down and spoke with you about delays and how she has conquered her own delays in life and all of that. We are the Erudition Show every Thursday at 20:30 p.m. CAT on your favorite channel. Thank you so much.